The North first called Mr. Trump a dotard, meaning old and weak, in 2017. It is the first time in over a year that Pyongyang has been openly critical of Donald Trump, the BBC's career correspondent Laura Bicker said. The Oxford English Dictionary defines a dotard as a person whose mental faculties are impaired, specifically, a person whose intellect or understanding is impaired in old age. Dotage, meanwhile, is defined as having impaired intellect or understanding in old age, or in general use as old age. The two men held face-to-face talks in Singapore in June 2018, and in Vietnam in February this year, aimed at denuclearization. But talks have stalled since then, and despite another impromptu meeting at the Demilitarized Zone (DMZ) that separates North and South Korea in June, the North has restarted testing of short-range ballistic missiles. In recent months, the hostile language has also come back. Pyongyang has set Washington an end-of-year deadline to offer it new concessions and has said it will adopt a new way if that does not happen. War of words at the NATO summit in the UK on Tuesday, Mr. Trump referred to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as Rocket Man. He also said that the US reserved the right to use military force against Pyongyang. In a statement carried by North Korea's state news agency, Vice Foreign Minister Cho Sun-hui warned that the war of words from 2 years ago may be resuming. If any language and expressions stoking the atmosphere of confrontation are used once again on purpose at a crucial moment as now, that must really be diagnosed as the relapse of the dotage of a dotard. In 2017, the two leaders engaged in tit-for-tat arguments, with Mr. Trump dubbing Mr. Kim, "Little Rocket Man," and "a madman," while Mr. Kim called the US president a mentally deranged dotard. The BBC's Andrew Neil has issued a challenge to Boris Johnson to take part in a sit-down interview with him before next week's general election. Mr. Johnson is the only leader of a main party not to have faced a half-hour primetime BBC One grilling by Mr. Neil. The Conservative leader has denied claims he is avoiding scrutiny. But Mr. Neil addressed the PM directly at the end of his fourth leader interview at this election, with Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage. "It is not too late. We have an interview prepared. Oven ready, as Mr. Johnson likes to say," he said, in a monologue. The theme running through our questions is trust, and why it so many times in his career, in politics and journalism, critics and sometimes even those close to him have deemed him to be untrustworthy. It is, of course, relevant to what he is promising us all now.